Hello all, welcome to the week 3 of the course Python for Data Science. In previous module, we learnt about how to set up Jupyter Notebook working with sequence data types and Python NumPy library. In this module, we are going to see how to read data from different data files working with Pandas data frame object, performing exploratory data analysis and various way of data visualization. Pandas library. It is an open source Python library for providing high performance data manipulation and analysis using its powerful data structure and tools. Pandas word is derived from panel data, which is an econometrics term for multidimensional data. Reading from files. What is file format? It is an standard way in which data is stored and collected. The most commonly used format is a tabular data format where rows represents a record and column represents a variable. The data type in a column remains same. To read files from a directory, we can use OS library to set to that directory. The command is chdir and the path to that directory. Reading tabular data from files. .csv file format. In .csv file format, the data is stored in a plain text format where each row represents a record and each column in a record is separated by comma symbol. To read a .csv file, we can use pandas method called read_csv with the argument of file name of the .csv file. To see the data frame, we can print the data frame or we can write the data frame and press enter in an individual cell. Here we can see the values inside the data frames. There are 150 rows and 6 columns. To see the top rows of data frame, we can use head method. Here the argument is number of rows we want to see. Similar way, we can see the bottom rows of the data frame using tail method. By default, missing values or blank values are read as any values. To read special characters or as any values, we can specify any value argument with a list of characters. To set a column as an index column, we can use index column attribute. .txt file format. In .txt file format, we can store tabular data in a plain text format. Here also, each line represents a record and the columns are separated by some separator or delimiter. To read a text file, we can use the data frame method called read_table. The arguments are the file name and the separator which is used in the file. .xlsx file format. It is used for Excel file. In Excel file, the data is stored in rows and column fashion. To read an Excel file in Pandas data frame object, we can use method read underscore Excel with the file name and sheet name. Pandas data frame data structure. It is a two-dimensional data structure. It is size mutable. The number of rows and columns can grow or shrink. It is a heterogeneous data structure with labeled axes. So each rows and columns can be named in the data frame. Creating a copy of data. There are two ways to create a copy of object. One is shallow copy and another one is deep copy. To create a shallow copy of an object, we can use copy method with argument deep equal to false. To create a deep copy of an object, we can use copy method with deep equal to true. What is the difference between the shallow copy and deep copy? Any changes made to shallow copy object will be reflected in the original copy, while any changes made to deep copy object won't be reflected to the original object. As we can see here, this is the original data. We are seeing the top three rows. In the shallow copy object, we set price to some value. Now if we recheck the original object, we can see the price has been changed. In the deep copy, this is the value, these are the values of the original object. In the deep copy, we change the price column. If we see the original object, the value still remains the same. Attributes of data frame. Here we are going to talk about various attributes and methods used in the data frame. Index attribute. It shows the data type of the index and all the indexes with their length, total length. Columns attribute. This shows all the columns used in the data frame. Size attribute. This gives the total number of elements in the data frame. Rows and columns in data frame. We can use shape attribute C to see the number of rows and columns. Here 1436 is the number of rows and 10 is the number of columns. Unique rows in data frame. To see unique rows in data frame, we can use value underscore counts method. To get a NumPy version of the data frame, we can use values attribute. To see the memory statistics, we can use memory underscore usage method. Here we can see the memory used by each of the columns and indexes. To see the number of dimension of data frame, we can use ndim attribute. Indexing and selecting data. To access a particular cell value, we can use label based lookup or index based lookup. To use a label based lookup, we can use data frame attribute at and the rows and column labels. To use integer based lookup, we can use attribute ia at with row index and column index. Accessing a range or group of rows or columns using label based lookup. To look to see or to get a scalar value using using attribute loc, we can use row label and column label. To select a range, we can also use a list of row labels and column labels, or instead we can specify a slice which is row label colon start row label colon end row label and column label start column label colon end column label. Here are different ways of selecting a range of data. So here we are specifying a list of row labels and list of column labels. As we can see, 3 records are selected with 3 columns: age, kilometer and fuel type. Using a slice operator, we can also select the range of data. Uh, the Rather than using a range or slice operator, we can also just keep colon in range selector, which is also allowed. As we can see in this example, the in the column selector we have just colon, in the row selector we have just column. Here it also works. Data types. So there are broadly two types of data: numeric and character. So the int type data is treated as int64 d type, where d type is the pandas data type. Similarly, float is treated as float64 data type in pandas. There are other data type. uh, String data type is treated as object in pandas d type, and date time as a date time 64. There's another data type in pandas called category, which is used to denote a set of string values. There is a data type called bool, which is similar as Python type bool. To see the data types used in a data frame, we can use dot dtypes attribute. Here we can see the columns and their respective data types. To see the number of data types, we can use dtypes dot value underscore counts method. Here we can see there are 4 object data type, 2 int 64 data type and 2 float 64 data type. Selecting data based on d types. Selecting columns based on a data type, we can use select underscore d types method with argument include and exclude. To include certain data types, we can specify list of data types here as in this example. To exclude certain data types, we can use exclude argument. Summary of data. To get a concise summary of the data, we can use dot pandas data frame method called info, which displays the total number and range of indexes and its data type, the columns, their data type and number of not null values in each column, and the memory usage by the data frame. To see the number of unique values in a column, we can use numpy method unique. Here is the example to see the unique values in cars underscore data on kilometer column. Here we can see some special characters are also present in this column. Here are some more examples. Replacing special character with NaN. As we have already seen, we can use the argument NA values with a list of special characters that we want to replace with NaN values. So here is an example. So without using this argument and after using this argument, so we can see there are there is some difference in the count. So those special values are now converted to NaN values. To see the statistical summary of data, we can use pandas data frame method called describe. This gives the summary of the data, the mean, median, the mean, max, the 5 number summary, and mean and standard deviation and the count for all the numeric data. Individually, we can see the different different statistics using these methods. Uh, we can apply these methods on a particular pandas column, like here cars underscore data column is dot mean will give the minimum value and the max method will give the maximum value, and smallest with argument as number will give the top bottom 5 values, and largest will give the top values. Mean method, median, mode, and dot std is for standard deviation. We can also find the quantile of a column using quantile method. The argument uh, is a fraction. Here 0.25 is used as an argument, which says 25% 25% quantile of the age column, which is 60. Converting data types. To convert data type of a column, we can use as type method. Here we have converted med color column as an object, automatic column as an object, km column as float 64, and do's column as float 64. Checking the number of bytes consumed by a column, we can use column series dot n bytes attribute. Here we can see the number of bytes consumed by the fuel type column, which is 11488. Here we have converted the type of this column as category. Checking the n bytes give the value of 1460. So we can see a significant reduce in the size of this column. Replacing a value. There are various ways to replace values in the data frame. We can apply replace method on the data frame or on any of the column. So this example shows replacing the string 3 as numeric 3 in the data frame. The inplace2 command allows to update the same data frame. Here in this example, we are updating the do's column where the string 3 is updated by the number 3. Here are some more examples. How to check the count of missing values? For that, we can use isNull method. Here is an example. So isNull attribute, isNull method returns a Boolean array, and some method counts the number of Boolean values to give the count of missing values. Similarly, we can use isNA method in place of isNull method. Identifying rows with missing values. To find out which rows are containing missing values or NaN values, we can use isNull method with .any method. Here axis 0 represents column and axis 1 represents rows. Deleting rows with missing value. To delete rows having missing value, we can use data frame method called dropNA with argument axis and inplace2. Axis 0 represents rows and 1 represents columns. Imputing and filling missing values. To fill missing values, we can use data frame method fill NA with the value that we want to replace with. So here in the first example, we are replacing the missing value in the age column with the mean value. In the second example, we are replacing the missing values in kilometer column with the median values. In the fourth example, we are filling the missing values on matte color column with the first mode. So value counts we have already seen. It returns the number of unique records. So when we use this with a column, we can see the number of unique records, the count of records. We can see petrol in the fuel type, petrol, diesel and CNG count in descending order. We can use value count also to perform filling the missing values. So here is an example where fill NA method is used, where fuel type value counts is used with first index. Using lambda function, we can also fill missing values using lambda function. Here is an example where data frame with dot apply method is used. In the argument there is a lambda function which fills mean value of each column if the data type is float, otherwise it fills with the most occurring value in the column. Exploratory data analysis. There are various ways to perform exploratory data analysis. First, we are going to talk about cross tabulation. Frequency table is a kind of a cross tabulation. To create a frequency table using pandas, we can use pd.crosstab method. Here we have attributes index and columns. We have argument index and columns. Index is column fuel type and columns is count, which shows the count of each fuel type. To create a two-way table, we can also use columns attribute as shown in this example. To create a joint probability table, we can also add argument normalize equal to true as shown in this example. So here the sum of all the probability is equal to 1. Two-way table including the marginal probability. Here we also add one more parameter called margins equal to true, where we can see the marginal probability on the last row and last column. To create a conditional probability table, we can set normalize argument as index, and then we can get the conditional probability table. To create a conditional probability table along columns, we can keep normalize argument as columns. Correlation. To create pairwise correlation table, we can use data frame method core with argument method equal to Pearson. Here is an example. So it shows the correlation among different numeric variables. We can skip the method. By default, Pearson method is taken. To get the correlation between the two columns, we can also use dot core method as shown in this example. Data visualization in Python. What is the use of data visualization? It helps the stakeholders or the users to easily interpret what is being said in the visualization. It also helps to observe the patterns in the data, to find the extreme values or outliers, which can be anomalies, and see how one variable affects others. There are various Python libraries for data visualization. Some of them we will talk about. The first one is Matplotlib. It is very rich library for for visualization in Python. Pandas library also provides some functionality for visualization, which are built on top of Matplotlib. Seaborn is also built on Matplotlib, and it's also a very rich and interactive library. ggplot2 is a Python version of ggplot is a Python version of ggplot2. Plotly also provides a interactive visualization. Here we are going to see some of the plots we can make using Matplotlib and Seaborn. Scatter plot. The scatter plot or correlation plot is used to show the relationship between the two variables. To create a scatter plot, we can use Matplotlib library. Here is an example. So here we have imported matplotlib.pyplot as PLT and Seaborn library as SNS. We are using the Toyota.csv data. To create a scatter plot, we use the scatter method. Here is an example, plt.scatter, and the x and y argument and the color of data points. We can add the title, x label, y label of the plot. This is how the visualization looks like, and we can see there is a correlation, a negative correlation between price and age. We can also use Seaborn library to create a scatter plot. The scatter plot method allows us to create a scatter plot. Here we provide x at x argument, y argument, and the data argument, and we can also add another variable to see how the data point looks like. We also have the argument called style, which can be seen in this plot. We can also create a rag plot to see the relation between the two variables. We here we have argument called fit regression. We can assign two values to see the regression line in the plot. There is another method, LM plot, which also allow to see the scatter plot among between the two variables. Again, we can set fit regression argument as false or true, and we can see another variable, the third variable, with argument hue. To see a figure level plots, we can we can uh, we can split the data in different columns on the third variable using the column argument in the REL plot. As we can see here, we have used col equal to automatic, so we got the two columns because automatic has two categories, 0 and 1. Histogram, it shows the distribution of the numeric data among and distribution of numeric data where we divide continuous data in number of bins, and we see the number of occurrence of data in each bins. Here is an example. Using the matplotlib, we can use .hist method with the variable column, and we can also assign different color to the plot using argument color, and we can separate among the different columns, different bars using edge color, and we can also mention the number of bins using this plot. In Seaborn, we can use this plot to create histogram. Here the argument KD allows us to display the smooth curve fitted to the histogram. We can also use histplot method to see the histogram. This plot allows to have multiple plots using a attribute, a categorical attribute, bar plot. It shows the frequency distribution of categorical data. It requires one numerical column and one categorical column, and also used to compare frequency among different groups. Here is an example using the matplotlib library. So here we are using two series called counts and fuel type, and we are using bar method with the those series and colors arguments. Here is the plot. It is much simpler to create in Seaborn. The count plot method help us to create a bar plot in Seaborn. Here x argument is the column name that we want to create a bar chart of. The data argument and the hue argument is the argument in which we want to see the split among the data. Box and whisker plot. It is used to display the 5-number summary of the data. The data can be grouped over categorical feature as well. So here is an example of box plot using Seaborn. The box plot method is used to create the plot. To split over multiple categories, we can specify the categorical variable on x-axis. We can also specify hue argument to display multiple plots in one figure. We can use the subplots feature. Here are some examples. To create vertical stack subplots, horizontal stack subplots, and multiple plots. To create a pairwise plots in Seaborn, we can use pair plot method with kind argument is equal to scatter. We can also use argument hue. It shows the distribution of each numeric variable and also the correlation among the variables, as we can see in this picture. This is the end of week 3 module. Thank you.